Shifting to another big focus, polls are underway in Nepal. Close to 18 million people are eligible to vote in 7 provinces across the Himalayan nation. Analysts are predicting a hung parliament and more instability in the country. Nepali Congress-led ruling coalition is expected to win the election by a narrow margin. The country is in need of some political stability desperately. No prime minister has served a full term since the end of the civil war in 2006. The frequent change in governments and fighting among parties have slowed down the country's economy. The two major alliances in today's polls are the Democratic and Leftist Alliance and Leftist and pro-Hindu, pro-monarchy alliance. The next government will face a plethora of issues. These include maintaining a stable political administration, reviving the tourism industry, and balancing ties with neighboring countries like China and India are seeming to be crucial. Nepal will elect its 275 members of the federal parliament. About 165 of them will be elected through direct voting. The remaining 110 will be elected through proportional representation system. Similarly, they will elect 550 members of the provincial assembly. About 330 of them will be elected directly, and remaining 220 will be elected through proportional method. Vote counting will begin shortly after polls close. However, the result could take several days to come. Nepal's Election Commission has mobilized over 270,000 staff for conducting the elections. Over 300,000 security personnel have also been deployed. Security has been bolstered in all 77 districts across the country. Authorities have also implemented air patrolling and closed international borders for 72 hours. Now for more on this, we are being joined by correspondent Saloni Morarka from Kathmandu. Saloni, welcome to the broadcast. Now, Nepal is desperately seeking the much-needed political stability. How likely is that looking according to the opinion polls?
Yes, you have just said it rightly, like just you mentioned how political stability is required in this country. And above this, if I highlight some factors for you, political stability and economy to be raised to the per capita income in yearly basis are the main factors that are dominating the election this time. And while the voters have seen that how the previous governments that had always been a coalition government, because not a single party has formed a majority, so they feel that this coalition government is just on the basis of forming a government and not on the ideology basis, if we look at it like that. And political stability is required because we have seen the last government where the former Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli, when he realized that he could not retain to his power, he dissolved the house twice. And later on, where his coalition partners like Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda and Madhav Kumar Nepal also felt that Oli has not been abiding by the understanding that they had of ruling the government in rotation. So basically, if we look at this, is that of course we know that next coalition government is going to come up, but many experts have already predicted, and this is a very strong prediction from multiple domains. It is coming out that Nepal will see another hung parliament because this coalition government has not been formed on some, a joint agenda for the country, but just a mere to come in power.
Absolutely, Saloni. And the frequent infighting among parties has also been blamed for a slow economy in the country. What are some of the voters saying about the concerns in this crucial election?
Yes, to my surprise as well, voters this time have been very vocal about the old faces coming in. So there was a campaign, social media campaign, No Not Again, which went viral over social media, implying voters not to vote for same old faces again, and what they want to see a change. So we have seen an example, Nepal itself, where in the last May local election we had, where some independent candidates stood up, and it was a surprise where the independent candidates won the election against some strong and old faces. So this was an example and an instance where it shows that the Nepali public, they are fed up of the old faces, and what they want to see a change, and not some hollow promises which are made by the parties and government again and again, and none of the parties have ever completed. None of the governments have ever completed a 5-year term. And if we look at Prime Minister Shoaib Deva, he was appointed as the fifth time the Prime Minister, and after being appointed as the Prime Minister for the fifth time, he completed 5 years of being in the position. So we can see the situation, and it's not the voters have been trying to come out on the streets as well in support of the independent candidates. So this time we will never know of what it might take a turn. So all we have to do is wait for the results to come out, because in this election as well, including the local election, in this general election, we have seen that there's an increase in independent candidates fighting from several constituencies, and some even against our former prime ministers.
All right, thank you for getting us up to speed, Saloni. We will be coming back to you as and when all the developments happened.